Thank you all for joining. We have Laces head coach Andrew Wade here. We'll go ahead and get started with Eric.
Coach, appreciate you. A couple questions I have for you. You have 3 Olympians on your team, one specifically, Steph Dolson, who is a 3x3 Olympian. Talk to me about just what you've seen as far as her leadership on the court.
Yeah, first of all, I'm lucky enough to have the Laces group where we've got 4 players over 30, so we're kind of the veteran group of all Unrivaled clubs. So in that sense, we've had all 6 really kind of step up to the plate in that leadership role. As far as 3-3 concepts go, Steph is one of the smartest bigs, if not the smartest, across the league. Her decision making, her ability to pass, from the perimeter, she just has a great feel for the flow of the game. So she's been a great resource, as far as helping out the other players and even helping myself.
And my next question to you is, staying along those lines, how do you balance that team strategy with, empowering the players to make those decisions and still be their true authentic selves?
That's definitely been a little bit of a balance. I think some points, to start the week, for example, I'm putting in some stuff, some offensive sets, and then some defensive coverages, just to give them a baseline. I think night to night, we're going to follow those defensive coverages, but offensively, I really want to get out and run and play fast. And so, I've been preaching all week, right? We've got our offensive sets when we need them, when we get bogged down in the half court. For most of the game, I want to get out and run, throw the ball ahead, and score fast.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
John Borey.
Hey, Tish. Coach, a few questions. 1, how would you describe the Laces playing style this season? And then 2, I read that you might have been a sports blogger in your past, which I think is just awesome. I wanted to know, what was your journey been like from that point till right now, coaching some of the best talent in women's professional basketball?
Yeah, from the Laces standpoint, I would say that we're going to play a very physical, obviously aggressive style of play. With AT, Kayla McBride, Jackie Young, we've got some really physical defenders. And so I think that's going to stand out the most on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, we're going to just play with a high IQ. Again, we're going to keep talking about the veteran presence among the group. But even our younger players, right, like Jackie Young and Kate Martin, are exceptionally high IQ players. And so we're going to find ways to pick on switching. We're going to, again, like I said, play fast. But you're going to see a lot of just high IQ stuff on both sides of the ball. And then for my journey itself, it's been an absolute blessing. I couldn't be happier right now, living a dream basically. And so, the blogging stuff I was doing was, throughout my college years, I knew I wanted to work in sports, I didn't know what. So, from there, I got an internship, lucky enough to get an internship with the Mystics. That was kind of like a video position, and just really worked my way up. So the past 6 years, I've worked in the W, did a two seasons, on the men's side with the G League, in the same building with the Capital City Go-Go. And so, year by year, piece by piece, I've just kind of been adding to my resume, adding to my experience, and just couldn't be more ready and more excited for this opportunity.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Megan.
Hey, Coach. It's Megan Hall with USA Today and For the Win. Wanted to ask you about Kate Martin. You mentioned just a second ago that she had a high IQ, basketball IQ, along with Jackie Young. I just wanted to ask you, what's been your observations as, she's kind of a younger player on the squad, but what's been your observations of her in just the first couple of days?
Kate is an exceptionally hard worker. There's not one rep where she's not going game speed. As far as the IQ stuff, I'll teach a concept, and she's finishing my sentence, before I can even finish the drill, right? She's picking up things super quickly, offensively, defensively. For the optional window, it's no question. I know she's going to show up. She's watching all the film that I'm sending out. And so I think she's just here to learn and, prove to everyone that, not only she belongs, but, she can really play. And she can do a lot more than just shoot the ball, The thing that stands out the most, though, is just how she approaches every single practice, every single optional, every single rep in practice. She's going game speed, and it's awesome to see.
Thanks so much.
Kevin.
Hi, Coach. This is Kevin K. Lewis with the 9450. Just had a quick question for you regarding the dimensions of the court and the adjustments that you have to make regarding, play calling. So how has that been so far in practices, and what are you looking forward to most once game time arrives, and how you'll be able to exploit some of those play callings and some of those cross matches?
Yeah, that's a great question. Obviously I knew it was going to be a full court 70 feet going into this opportunity. I didn't have a chance to see the court until, training camp started a week ago. And so, I had my ideas going in with sets that I wanted to put in. Obviously, like I touched on, some of the defensive coverages. Particularly, though, with the sets, I didn't exactly realize how short the court is, right? So, for example, we put in a double drag series. And, when I'm sitting on the floor, I want our players to get out and run and fill the corners. Basically, as soon as we get a turnover or a missed shot, I want our team to get out and run. The tough part with the double drag stuff is that now they're getting out and running the floor and then circling back towards half court to get into this action. The other piece too, right, is that the top of the key is so close to the half court line. So if we get hedged out on, our guard is going to be going back and forth, backcourt violation. And so a lot of the trial stuff has just been, a lot of the action stuff has been trial and error. I feel good about what we have in. Obviously, we've got a lot. Look at it tonight. So that's been a learning adjustment, I think, for all us coaches and players. But the dimensions itself, they just make the game more exciting. The possessions are going to be super fast. The score is going to be high. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Thanks, Coach.
Nikias?
Yeah, just a quick one for you, Coach. Bouncing off of that, you kind of flirted talking about the defensive coverages. I guess how much versatility can be had in a 3v3 setting, especially once you're factored in the full court of it all? How aggressive do you feel like you can be in light of having to go up and down the court, full court versus being a half court game? What has it been like trying to set up what you want to do?
It's interesting, right? Like, I think without two help defenders on the floor, you just have to get creative. So just speaking candidly, right, like if Steph is guarding a ball screen, most of the time we're going to have her drop coverage. We'll just play the pick and roll 2-on-2. With AT, we're more inclined to switch, and then guard to guard stuff, we're more inclined to switch. A lot of this week has just been spent on teaching switching. And so we say something, we call it like steering switches. So if you're guarding the screener, you're very physical on the screener, basically throwing them into the screen, and that way you can avoid any ghosts, any slips, right? Any miscommunication. So we want to force switches as much as possible. Another concept we've been talking about is just be the lowest on the floor. And so you can't jump passing lanes. You can't, top block any pin downs. We want to play defense from the inside out, basically. If that makes sense.